Welcome to the Cory Lee Show, where our focus is on building leaders and transforming culture. My name is Cory Lee, and in each episode, I aspire to ignite something on the inside of you that encourages you to grow yourself and to make an impact on the world around you. Welcome to the Cory Lee Show. Well, hey guys, welcome back to the Cory Lee Show. Today we've got another kind of following up from last week's podcast episode where we really had a word from the Lord. This is one that's following up from that. And in that episode, we talked about what could happen in the next 10 years. We talked about Alexander the Great and how he conquered the known world within 10 years, and then kind of started asking the question of, what could the Lord do with a life laid down in 10 years? Like, what could he do with someone who is willing to surrender it all to his will and to take up his will upon their own lives? And I shared with you a word that I felt like the Lord gave to me, what would happen over the next 10 years. And I said in that podcast, he had mentioned to me a little bit more about what the church was going to look like. And this is that. What I was referencing. So this is this podcast, and it's talking about I'm splitting the church is what we'll talk about today. And then it's a Passover season. And so let's jump right on in. And so, we'll just go ahead and share. And so I was praying. This is about a month or so ago, and I actually shared this on Facebook, and I think that's the only platform, maybe Instagram, but I felt like the Lord was saying, I'm splitting the church. And I heard this just kind of ringing in my spirit for several days. And it just did not make sense to me, right? It was just stirring within me, in my spirit for several days. And I just started asking and seeking, because it didn't make sense to me, because I know that the kingdom of the Lord is advancing and that his church is growing. But I soon realized that I was thinking more in numbers, and he was speaking of maturity. And see, what we tend to do is we sacrifice purity for what we call unity, or in reality, it's conformity. See, we work so hard not to offend other people, to make people happy, to do whatever we can do not to lose them at the back door, and then come up with anything we can do to attract them to the front door. We make small little compromises to truth to make it palatable to the ear, in total disregard to the soul and to the heart. This stops now. See, the word of the Lord has gone forth, and a clear line of demarcation has been drawn. There's an invitation to step across into purity and maturity, or to linger in unity and conformity. The day of the Lord's visitation is at hand, where he will see firsthand the churches who have become institutionalized by structures and systems, or focused on the hosting of his presence. The institutionalized churches will be invited to flee like Lot from Sodom. Those that linger or look to return will be consumed and left in the ashes. Those that allow themselves to be led out by the strong arm of the Lord will see the light of a new day. Many will argue the Lord would never do such a thing. But hey, a quick glance at church history, and you'll soon discover that he will. In fact, in Jesus's earthly ministry, it is seen on a few occasions when his popularity rose and many people began to follow, he would do something or say something offensive that would cut the numbers back. It would cut them back from the masses to the all-in ones, to the dedicated ones, to the ones who knew nowhere else to go. See, there will be those who will stand by his side in intimacy, who will look on and watch in security, because they're close to his heart and they know him, like Abraham. Others will be like Lot, who the Lord will drag out of the religious system and will be forced to move on, while others will be like Lot's wife, who lingered and longed to go back. The word of the Lord says, I'm going to destroy the church system. The system has become sacred rather than the God of the system sacred. The system, with all of its intricacies and complexities, it squeezes the life out of simple obedience and simple adherence to my word. Smooth-talking motivational life coaches don the pulpits. They spend more time listening to other speeches to gather quotes to impress, rather than spend time in my presence to hear what I'm saying. Robber barons they are. They rob the storehouses of motivational one-liners and never enter the storehouse of my wisdom. Blind guides leading the blind. They trip and stumble all over one another and without any sense of direction. This way, no, that way. And they circle back to where they first started without any real progress. At least the real robber barons moved society forward. These keep everyone where they are. The new will be living and breathing. It will be a fresh breath of air to the church and to society. It will be one of freedom and movement, not restricted or bound by fear or paradigms of how it is supposed to be done or to take place. They will have ears to hear and eyes to see. They will move by faith and the sound of my voice, oftentimes with no explanation or understanding in the beginning. Guys, I feel like this is a call to draw near to the Father's heart and into maturity. And I just feel Psalm 27:8, where it says, my heart has heard you say, come and talk with me. And my heart responds, Lord, I'm coming. Lord, I'm coming. Hey guys, I hope you are enjoying this episode of the Cory Lee Show. Y'all, I am on a mission to build leaders and to transform culture. So if you're looking for a speaker who speaks directly to the heart, a mentor to come alongside you and your team, or if you're in a position where you're looking for a personal coach who embraces where you are and also believes in who you could become, then I would be honored to walk this path with you. Simply reach out to me on my email at Cory@CoryLeeLeadership.com. Look, let's make your vision a reality. Contact me and together we'll navigate the path from aspiration to achievement. Your transformation, it starts now. And this kind of continued here, and I'm just going to kind of read this. This is a Passover season. A season is different from a one-day event or one moment. The seasons of the year are noticeably different. Summer is different than fall, and fall different from winter. When the season begins to change, there are noticeable signs of that change. As summer gives way to fall, the temperatures begin to cool. Leaves start to change, and migrating animals begin to move from one habitat to another in preparation for the change in seasons. Behold, the former things have come to pass. Now I declare new things. Before they spring forth, I proclaim them to you. That's Isaiah 42:9. Think about that. Before they spring forth and become fully noticeable, there are indications of the new thing's arrival. There are signs to come. Seek me for answers, solutions, and direction. Those who have the light have no need to be in the dark on my movements, says the Lord. And what I am doing, it has been given to you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. Google does not have all the answers or solutions. Siri and ChatGPT, they only have information on the past and what has been done, not what is to come. That lies with me. Don't stay in the dark. You weren't meant to stay in the dark, to hide yourself in fear or allow anxiety to consume you. You are mine, so draw near. There have been signs in the sky and signs in the earth. Seasons are changing. It is a Passover season. A line of demarcation is being drawn in the church and in society. There will be a clear separation. New leaders will emerge. I myself will reveal and expose. They will be known by their fruit. Fruit always reveals what's at the heart of the tree and what kind of tree it is. This is a Passover season. This Passover season is actually coming to an end. It is not just beginning, but the season is wrapping up. What began in late 2019 will continue through early 2026. The Passover season is coming to a close, and the season is starting to give way to a new season. Passover is a visitation season where a clear distinction is made. Hearts that are marked and hearts that are not. Churches that are institutionalized and churches that host his presence. The Lord is not a God of confusion, chaos, or disorder. We become confused and chaotic when we allow the many clamoring voices to shape our opinions rather than his voice. He is speaking clearly in this season, but his voice is not in the earthquake or in the whirlwind. It is not found in the busy marketplace where all the people try to sell their goods. His voice is clear yet subtle. It's not found in the scroll on Facebook or social media, but sitting at his feet. This Passover season is a season to draw near. He is making himself available, and those who have already drawn near are seeing things shift in their own lives. Some are moving to new locations. Some are shifting in their careers. Some are staying where they are, but have a new resolve and purpose. They are aligning themselves for his purpose in a new season. Proverbs 10:5 in the Passion Translation says, "Know the importance of the season you are in, and a wise son you will be. But what a waste when an incompetent son sleeps through his day of opportunity." Woo, how about that? Jesus in Luke 7 likens his generation to children sitting in the marketplace, calling to one another, basically saying, "I wanted to play a fun game, but you didn't respond. Then I tried to play a sad game, but you still didn't respond." And he was describing the time and the season. John came to make way for the Messiah, and he came neither eating nor drinking, but even tax collectors were coming to him to be baptized. However, in verse 30 it says, the leaders, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, rejected the will of God for themselves, not having been baptized by John. See, there were clear signs that heaven was doing something in the earth, because even the tax collectors were repenting. The fact that it says they rejected the will of God for themselves, it indicates there was a personal invitation to them to join what the Lord was doing. But see, something at the heart level was knocking, but for whatever reason, they refused to respond. Then Jesus is saying, I came eating and drinking. John came religious and holy, and I came in freedom and love and power. And all the scriptures you know so well pointed directly to me, yet you still did not respond. There was a clear indication that a certain season had arrived. It was clear on the societal level, but also at the individual level. There are clear signs now at the societal level, and I know at the individual level as well, that heaven is doing something in the earth. See, physics teaches us that with motion, there's friction, and there is a stirring in culture and in the hearts of people. This stirring feels like friction, and people don't know how to respond. Some choose to lash out. Some look to social media or the news or for opinions. Some choose to be passive and ignore the obvious signs, desiring things to go back to the way they were or to keep things the way they are. But friends, I want you to know you got to wake up. You got to wake up. We are not going back to the horse and buggy. We are not going back to the rotary phone. The kingdom of the Lord is advancing, and he is on the move. The Passover season is coming to an end, but it's not too late at all. See, listen to that individual invitation to draw near. He desires for you to draw near. He has great plans for you. His plans for you are good because he is good. He is a good, good Father. As this new season begins, new leaders will emerge to lead not only the church, but culture forward. These leaders will be mature because they journeyed through the wilderness and spent time in his presence. They recognize the sound of his voice and the patterns of his movement. They will lead with clean hands and pure hearts. They will be rooted in truth and justice, unwilling to be bought, unwilling to accept bribes, and unwilling to even step foot into a back room. This Passover season is readying the new season of leaders. So draw near. You might as well throw your hat into the ring. Hey, I hope today has added value to you. Make sure you like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with any of the latest episodes of the Cory Lee Show. Hope you guys have a great day, and God bless. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thanks for joining me today. I hope I have added value to you. And if you have found value in this episode, let me know. Drop a comment and make sure you share with a friend or family member. See you next episode.